Take a look at this. It's another one. Missing timing belt. Yeah, it all broken up. This one was actually dry rotted. I don't know if I gotta pull this cover back. You can get a better look. The best thing I can do is just take the timing cover off and you can get a better look at it, but I don't know if this will do any justice. You can see all that dry rot. Cracked timing belt. And that led to its destruction. We're here today not only to potentially condemn that these heads are going to have to come off, but we need to make sure that there's no damage to the valves. And I mean, she was going 60 miles an hour when she said the time belt broke. We're going to get extremely, extremely, extremely lucky if this is not the case, like the valves did not kiss the piston. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to blow this, I'm saying blow a lot. We're going to blow off the top of the valve cover, pull the plug wires and the spark plugs, stick the bore scope down in there and just observe the pistons. And I'm going to be honest, just like the Volvo I got outside, if the pistons then kiss the valves or vice versa, somebody kissed somebody first, I mean, the head's going to have to come off, and it's honestly cheaper to just do the cylinder heads than just throw a motor in here, because it's definitely going to cost over $4,000 to put a motor in this thing, and for it to be a 2007 is likely not worth it, and I doubt the dad's going to want to pay for that. Let me get the camera set up, get this blown off, get my area cleaned up a little bit, and let's just pull the inspection camera out, look inside the pistons, look inside the bore, and see what we're dealing with. I'm going to have to place these wires too. They look horrible. Here's the spark plug out of one of the cylinders. Not sure which bank this is, but it might be cylinder, might be bank 2. These are old. You can see how the ground, the top here is triangulated. It's not a smooth, flush looking ground. To see that there's also compression seeping through the portion of the plug down there, which is an indication of age. This is not an arcing condition. That little black speck I pulled off. I got one more. Where's the? Oh yeah, this is worse. This is the worst plug. That gap is pretty excessive in comparison to all the other ones. Wouldn't be a bad idea to check the gap, but it ain't gonna do nothing. Damage is already done. We're in bank 2, the front bank. We just pulled the plugs out. I'm looking for the relief cuts for the valve and the piston, like around there. Excuse me, like around there. And usually you'll see like some clean marks if the piston came in contact with the valve. It don't look like it at the time. Let's go to the, like this one is a question. Let's go to another cylinder. I'm gonna have to get this thing to come down a little bit. Let me bump it over. I don't see any contact unless these pistons don't have relief cuts, and what I was seeing was an impression from the valve. So this one don't look like it have relief cuts or anything for the valves. Let's go to the other one. Yeah, the piston, yeah, okay. See, right there. Oh god, this one looks horrible. Right there, right there. This must look, oh wow. Let's flip the camera around a 90 degree and see what we're dealing with, because this one looks the worst. Yep. There's our valves. They're partially open. And look, right there is where it came in contact with the piston. What side are we on? These are the exhaust valves. Let's go to the other one. Yep, right there. Perfect. Clear example. Came in contact with it. This looks horrible. Right there. That looks horrible. Let's flip it around and look at the intake side. Yeah, this one too. And this one. You can see this one's partially open on the intake. And this one also looks partially, yeah, this one's also partially open. Yeah. I can turn the cam around and see if the valve's completely closed, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. Both of these are not supposed to be open. Okay, whether we on the compression stroke, exhaust stroke, there's never a valve overlap on a four-stroke engine. So both of the intake and the exhaust valves are open. It's never going to be like that. I don't care what kind of engine you got. There's no decompression pressurized mechanism inside that cam. All the one valve or the intake valve need to be open, and at some point in time they may, and I'm talking about, I mean may, if you got some big cams, they may have a little overlap, but on the stock car, nope. This just needs a valve job. There's no point of really doing anything else. That's the whole diagnosis I need to do. I don't know if she's gonna repair this. I'll give them the best price I can to do it right. This car does have over 200,000 miles on it. The radiator is cracked also, so I'm gonna have to repair this radiator while it's out. Let's take a look. You'll see right around there, the radiator has some leaks, so this is gonna have to be replaced also. All right, got the timing cover off, so we all gonna take a look at this together. If I can get this off. Pulling some of the belt with it. There you go. Let me see if there's anything locked up. No, that idler turns. The water pump turns. See that? Yeah, the water pump turning. The belt just dry rot. Ain't as bad. Well, as much as I would like to blame myself, I am the guy to work on their cars. I just can't, because I don't see her often, and can't make people come by for checkups. It is what it is. I will say though, these are if you had to put a motor in here, this would be one of the easiest engines you will ever do. I can't tell you enough. These motors are, they come right out and they go right on in. There's, I mean, obviously a couple things you're gonna have to take off, but once you get the fan assembly out, get this crossbar out, I mean, you got plenty of room to just get the motor out with a cherry picker and pop it back in there. You know, I wouldn't mind doing the motor, just the actual full motor, but like I said, it's cost, and doing the heads on this labor time was a little over 12 hours to do. So I might, like I said, I'd rather do the head work than the full motor, because you may not spend as much in a motor, like for buying a motor. That money goes mostly towards labor doing the head than the machine work. So for a price of a motor, you may be able to just do the head gaskets on here and knocking off the labor to install that motor. And at least everything will be modernized, like the time belt, water pump, you know, all the gaskets set from the head gasket on up, you know, maintenance and everything we brought up just as it needs to be. Because if you do a motor, you're gonna have to do the time belt and water pump regardless, and the basic tune-ups. You just don't know how well it's been serviced. At least, again, with the head gasket, everything's fresh up top from the head gasket on up. So anyway, I say head gaskets. Time belt's supposed to be replaced every 60 to 80,000 miles, and I'm not sure if this is the original or just a low quality belt. I don't know if I can pull this out. I'll have to crank it over. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm not getting that belt out. As for the water pump, it looks, I'll have to pull it off to get a better look on it, but it looks original. Usually the tensioners and stuff fail. Before all this, I've had tensioners go slack, but then again, it was aftermarket tensioners. Anyway, I doubt if I'll be documenting anything further than this. Y'all just gonna ride along with me and diagnose this car. I mean, even though these are interference engines, I already knew likely we're dealing with bent valves. I've just been getting nothing but head jobs. Going left before we go right first. They've been getting nothing but head jobs for a while. Anyway, a lot that I just don't document because it's just I need to get it down and out of the way because I got a bunch of other little stuff I gotta knock out between them. Anyway, if anything happened, I'll definitely update. Hit that link, subscribe channel, stay informed, head over to some more work. See you next one.